Number 37 is really kind of my little, homage to Hitchcock's Rear Window. But it's set in the Cape Flats in South Africa, which is really, it's different suburbs within the Cape, and there's different variations of it around the country, where people were forcibly removed from their homes into these spaces, and they were built with the idea that once you were inside, you wouldn't be able to look. If you looked around you, all you would see were these walls. And when I saw Rear Window, I really kind of, I would look at this film that was so amazing and full of so much tension, but then I would think, well, the binoculars for Jimmy Stewart are really just about, they're really just about, oh great, I've got nothing else to do, let me spend my time looking at my neighbors, and then he gets curious and whatever. But for me, I was more interested in looking at these binoculars as more of an escape for a person, and for a person growing up in these blocks where there's so much kind of crime and drug abuse and gangsterism. These binoculars and the window that's become so much focus in the story, would not be a matter of being bored and trying to find some way to fill his time. It was really just about, well, I know there's something more in the world, and I know that someone else seems to be able to get it, but I can't. And maybe these things can kind of become, a form of escape. So the film kind of becomes my own very twisted version of Rear Window, and it's really been exciting. Yeah. Actually, originally, the script was written for a short film festival competition that we'd been asked to submit for. But we'd always had this concept as my team, Gambit Films, which is like a little collective that I work with. We'd always had this vision that this was meant to be a feature film. So we thought, well, okay, great, let's use it as proof of concept, to make a short film. And so we submitted it, and it got into the festival, it got into competition in the festival. It ended up winning a bunch of awards there. Then it won our country, South Africa's main award, which is called the SAFTA. And then it ended up traveling throughout Europe and picking up interest. And all the while, I kept thinking, okay, great, well, now that people are aware of a short film, there's got to be more to it in a feature, because, short films are really just very conceptual. But for me, I was really interested in digging into the relationship between Randall and between Pam. And Randall, I've kind of already spoken about. He's this guy with a dreamer, but for him, it's about a quick buck. It's about, I've got to get out. The only way I can get out is money. And he makes these, incredibly horrendous decisions to try and get, to his dream. But I wanted to place him opposite someone who saw the world a little bit differently, and the same world, and who'd grown up in the same space as well. And for Pam, her whole thing is, well, we can maybe never be rich, maybe we'll never have everything, but we have each other, and isn't that what matters? And that was kind of the journey that for me, I was kind of really looking to dig into. And obviously it's a thriller, so it's not a drama, so it's not this like amazing love story, but at the same time, there's all this heart behind it, and it kind of adds the layers that I think is what people have been connecting to. So beyond the thrills and the scares and the tension, there's all of this, all of this dialogue that's been built up around the film, which I'm really excited about. Yeah. I love working in genre, and South by Southwest is one of those festivals that celebrates genre films, and I think of any festival that I could have thought of, this is something that is just, it's blowing my mind. And the fact that it's been so well received as well is something that's just, a quick little, story. When I received the email that we'd been, accepted, and it was early acceptance or whatever, and I received that email, I was drinking coffee and I was still in my pajamas. And my mom was having breakfast across the way, and I read this email and I just screamed, and I think I spilled some coffee on her, and she thought I was going a little bit crazy, because it was January after, it was after party season, so I think she maybe thought I was still like going crazy from that. And when I told her, we both was just so ecstatic, because this was the goal. So it's wow.